So what we're going to do here, guys, now that we're at the end of the 1 hour, we're going to just change gears for those that can stay with us, and we're going to talk about some practical things about how we might attend Palm Sunday, how we can celebrate Palm Sunday. And so what I'm going to do is real quick, give you some pointers, and then we're going to have a little bit of discussion for those who can stay with us. So if you can stay for just like maybe 5 more minutes, I'm going to do this next piece, which I think can be very helpful to you. Okay, and talk with you about some of the opportunities you have and the things we're providing through the Institute. Okay, does that sound good to you guys? Okay, the first thing is the branches. As you heard in Leviticus, they didn't just carry palm branches, whatever. They carried leafy branches, whatever they could get their hands on. So what's appropriate? Well, anything you got. Melanie's got her palm tree over there from last year. She's been keeping because she's a prophet of God, and prophetess of God. She knew that she was going to need it. So she's going to whack those off, and she's going to go take them outside. But you know what I did? I went outside and I just took some branches. I live in California, obviously. It's, I got flowers on my trees and stuff. Some of you don't have that, but isn't that nice? Some red leaves and green leaves and some flowers. This seems to me the kind of thing they had been building their huts out of, right? So you can go outside and find anything. If you live in Michigan, but if you live in Michigan, you have bigger problems than not being able to go to church or Palm Sunday. No, I'm kidding. I love my Michigan brothers and sisters. But no, you can find something evergreen. And you know what? Pine trees, that's a gift from God, Kelsey. That, those are gifts from God. Go look. Besides that, in Virginia right now, there's got to be magnolia leaves that are out. Dogwoods. Oh, the dogwoods are out right now, aren't they? Yeah, it's about time. There's lots of stuff out. Go get some green branches and make yourself a nice bouquet like this, okay? And I didn't have the ribbon, but you can make it nice and wrap some ribbon around there, right? So you can hold it. Isn't that beautiful? And you can take your vase and you just put your bouquet in your vase and put this in your prayer corner, okay? Now, I know I'm slightly nutty. I admit that. So what I'm going to do is just give you some layers of what you might want to do. The first thing is to make a bouquet for yourself, so that in your home, in your prayer corner is a reminder to you and your declaration before God that He is your King. So important as we're going into this week. Lord, I'm going to follow you. Let's go and die with Him, as Thomas says in the Gospel of John. He knows what's coming. So He says, let's go die with Him. So let's go to the cross together. And this is our declaration. We call this the symbol of victory in that hymn we were singing earlier. It's our symbol that He's our King. Hosanna, save us from our enemies. Save us from this virus. Save us, Lord. Intervene in my life. I'm willing to go to the cross with you, and through the cross to the day of the resurrection. So that's number one. Put this in your prayer spot in your home, okay? The second thing to do is to make a procession. I really encourage you to do that. And maybe you're not, I can't do that. Okay, fine. But you can pray there in your corner, in your spot, okay? But if you can make a procession, then take up your palms and walk through your house. Okay, what about maybe even going outside your house? Do you have is it possible you can walk around your house where you live? Okay. Or if you're crazy like Fr Hezekias, then you go all the way down to the end of the road in the middle of 100% rain. They're calling for 100% rain in Sacramento. We're going out anyways, okay? Full vestments, incense, taking up the cross, everything, we're going out. So there's one. Take up your cross in one hand, okay? Well, you don't have a big cross like that, but you probably have like a cross on your wall. And so you can, maybe it's not silver, but a wood cross, you can do that. Take this up like this. Okay, you would just like this, like, what's that guy doing? A weirdo, But if you like this, they'll be like, oh, that's a Christian. Okay, so there's another layer. This is what you could do, right? Maybe you can go down to the front, down your driveway and back up. Maybe, God willing, your neighbor sees you. Okay, then they think you're really nutty. So but yeah, then you can go all the way down to your road and back if you want, and make your procession. So I really encourage you to do that. And then we're going to give you some resources. Okay, Kelsey's going to share the page there with you about some things we're giving you. Okay, and we're going to just show you a few things that might be helpful. Okay,
All right. Okay, so on the event page for this event, if you go to enter the classroom here, underneath resources, we have a couple different things. One, we have this handout. So this handout has a Psalm 119.
Wrong Psalm. Sorry, 118.
118, right? Okay, we'll fix that.
We'll fix that. Sorry.
Okay, then the gospel passage, which we read at the start, and then some different hymns. Now, this is the sheet music for these three. And we have audio files, so I'll get to that in a minute. And we also have, I guess, do you want to talk about this now, spiritual communion?
There's a spiritual communion there, that kind of little guided spiritual communion. So you can do that if you like, okay, for during, as you're preparing for, if you're going to attend Mass on Sunday online or something like that. Here's a little guide for you, okay? But I do want to go back up to the music a little bit, because I'll talk just real quick about each one of these pieces, okay? The first one is from the Byzantine tradition. It's a little hymn. We've got a recording for you also. We're going to show you that we have recordings on each of these, okay? But we're giving these to you so you have it in front of you. And maybe if you feel comfortable singing, then you can sing this, okay? That's maybe another level. But we're going to sing this as a really simple little hymn, and we have the recording so that you can practice it, okay? So here's how it goes. My family's here with me. They're gonna help me to sing. So let's, okay. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Okay, I want you guys to see my family too. So it's my wife Linda and Mariana. Come here, please. Come here. And Mariana, say hello to everyone. Okay, there you go. Okay, all right, good. All right, so there you go. A very simple little thing you can repeat, right? You could learn that by Sunday, couldn't you? You know, I think I could even learn it, and I can't even sing to save my life. All right, then the next one down, you guys have known this since your childhood, so you got this one, right? I think, Melanie, you have your cousins with you, or yeah, they're with you. Oh, awesome. We're gonna do Holy God, we praise thy name, and then hey, cousin Ryland family's over there. Yeah. Can you guys just do the first verse of this one here?
Sorry?
Can we do Holy God, we praise thy name, the first verse there?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Holy God, we praise thy name. Lord of all, we bow before thee. On earth thy scepter claim. All in heaven above adore thee. Is the earth thy vast domain? Everlasting is thy reign.
Okay, look at this, guy. This beautiful. Thank you, Ryland family. And you see how beautiful this is? Talking about everlasting is thy reign, the scepter, right, of the king, bowing down before him. This is Palm Sunday material, am I right? And you could just repeat that first verse, by the way. You don't have to do all these other verses. Just keep repeating the same verse over and over again. That's fine. You know, how beautiful that is. Or maybe you're like, I can't go in procession. It's not me. Well, you can sing this, okay? All right. Fine. You see it right in your prayer spot. That's what I'm saying, with your spouse maybe, or whoever you're with. Okay. And then the next one is maybe a little more complicated, but still the same idea about the king. Okay. So the Ryland, you know, look at this beautiful Ryland family and singing so nicely. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, glory, God, and honor to thee, my King. To whom the heads of children may sweet hosannas ring, the people of the sing songs before thee west. So our prayers and anthems before thee we present.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So look what we're going to do for you guys. Not only do we have live music in the Institute, this is great. Families getting together. This is what we need to be doing during this time. So thank you, wonderful Rylands, and whatever your last names are, you know, I'm sure not.
Three of us are all Rylands.
Yeah.
And we put together. We're not breaking the COVID rules.
We're holding it together. So Kelsey, show us our resources page so that people could practice, you know, the music. Look what we did for you guys. You got all the tools you need for your celebration of Palm Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so you can just click on any of these links and it'll I didn't share my computer sound, but you can just play them from there.
Cool. So we got all three of those hymns for you. So here's what I would do. I'd choose which one you're going to do, and I would just put it on repeat for the next, like, you know, whatever it is, 60 hours or whatever you got till Palm Sunday in your house. You'll be so going crazy that you won't even be able to, in the middle of the night, you'll be singing the same song over and over and over again, right? And you'll be humming it, and then you got it. You know, St. Jerome said, was it St. Jerome said when you pray, you sing twice, you pray twice? St. Augustine.
Augustine. Yeah. It was Augustine.
Yeah, when you sing, you pray twice. So that's beautiful. Now you're saying, Father Hezekias, you crazy. I can't sing. Well, you know what? You got a cell phone, you know? And what you can do is you can put your cell phone on kind of medium volume because it'll help you. And then you just hit repeat on that thing. And then you go walk down the street singing full volume with the little earbud, and they don't know you're cheating. You know what I mean? And you got your person keeping you together, and you're singing away. Anybody you see, Hosanna to the Son of David. Beautiful. We gotta kind of break out of our shell a little bit, because that's what they did. You know, the Roman authorities were standing there. You know that. They were there. They knew where Jesus was at any given time. They knew exactly what was going on, because he had just raised Lazarus from the dead, and they were preparing to arrest him when he walked in. So they were tracking him. And when they sang out, they knew exactly what they were doing. They were committing treason in the face of the Roman authorities. Okay? So if you're nervous about going outside, you think about being nervous on the Mount of Olives that day. Are we really going to do it? Are we really going to come out and declare that he's the king, and that these soldiers, we reject them, we reject Caesar, we reject the oppression, we reject all of it? Okay? And they're riding around on stallions, let me tell you that. And Jesus goes and gets on this little, you know, colt. He's our king. So, you know, if you gotta think about what's going on, and you gotta make that yours. Okay? At any given level that you can do so. In every one of those levels, no matter what level you get to on that, wherever, God's gonna be glorified, and is gonna, because you did what he wants from us is the best we can give him, right? So that best comes in every form and fashion. So you can, maybe you have other ideas of what you want to do, but do it. You know, make Palm Sunday yours and his and all of ours together. Not because the priest went and bought the palms down at the florist and handed them out, and you made a little cross and went home. It's ours. Jesus is my king, and I will follow him wherever he takes me. And if he takes me, if I have to pass through the virus business, I'm going to pass through it with him, because I know he's able to transform every aspect of my life, the sickness, the death, the tears. He can transform all of it and return me to where I need to be, which is in his love, the transformed world by his love, and come back to paradise. Okay? So we need to do this as a community, as a church. All right. I'm sure you've got some other ideas and things. We are now at the kind of a break point where I'm going to say my part of my presentation is done. We're going to go into Q&A and have a chance to maybe talk about other questions you have, how you can celebrate the day, some other ideas of how to make this day very much wonderful. And while we're in a time of sadness, we're going to just change it by the joy of the Lord. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. I do want to just a couple quick announcements. Tomorrow we're going to be with Monsignor Pope. Okay. Do we have, by the way, Andy, if we cached our website, do we have the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? So let's go ahead and share this. We got a brand new thing to share with you guys right now. Nobody else knows about this, but you guys. So you're the lucky group.
Do you see the event page here?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, great.
Take us through it, Kelsey.
Okay. Well, the new event that Father is talking about is this one here. So Passion Tide, Walking with the Lord in Holy Week. We will be joined by Monsignor Pope next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You can see that here. We're going to be having a webinar at 3 p.m. and Monsignor Pope is going to go through kind of a Bible study and talk about what was Christ doing on these days leading up to his passion. Before that happens, though, tomorrow we are also going to be joined by Monsignor Pope on meditation on Christ's high priestly prayer. So two things, just continuing on our kind of Lenten retreat together with Monsignor Charles Pope and helping you enhance your celebration of this Holy Week.
We also, by the way, just to give a little, badge of whatever glory, look at show more, Kelsey. Sorry.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a little secret. We'll give a little secret thing here. We've just actually loaded on our entire next quarter of programs at the Institute. I'll close it. They can't see it. It's too holy. Yeah, we're scheduled, by the way. I mean, we released them along the way, but we're scheduled right now. We have programs scheduled up through the end of the year. Okay. And we're now planning. Andy and I started, and the staff started talking about our plans for getting all our details in order for 2021. Okay, so within about guys, about probably a month and a half, we'll be scheduled through the end of 2021. So God's got a future for us, and together, and we're going to be growing together. And see you, Dino. So okay, guys, maybe you've got some other thoughts, some other areas you want to talk about real quick. We can do so for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so that it can stay around. Okay. Any thoughts, questions you might, right here, by the way, I'm going to focus on the panelists that are here, on the video panelists, so that we can kind of hear from you. Other things you're thinking, questions you have, things we might be able to celebrate the day more fully. You can take yourself off of mute, by the way, if you want to speak, so that we can kind of hear you.
I have a question, Father.
Yes, Melanie.
So I guess I'm wondering what advice you would have for Holy Week, especially in terms of, like, I've been inundated. Our parish isn't doing anything, so then but you're also seeing I'm seeing tons of options for liturgies, and it's like, should I just pick and choose? Like, what do I do? And then how do I set both my time apart and my space apart? Like, do you have any advice about setting your computer or your TV up with your prayer corner and just
okay?
And how do you, like, now all of a sudden my home is my church and my church is my home. You know what I mean? And so it's like this weird sense of, how do I get that sense of place?
I used to have a question. I used to have a rule that you had to ask a question in 1 sentence.
I know. You didn't say that though, so I felt free.
I'm kidding. No. All right. There's a lot packed in there. But let me try to see if I can tackle that a little. First of all, I think the number one most important thing you said was, I want to make a plan. Okay, you got to make a plan. Otherwise, you're going to be like this. Oh, there's another mass. Oh, there's another this. I'm gonna, and you'll spend your whole Holy Week on like this on the television. Okay, trying to have this, like, come to Jesus moment in front of your television. I'm not a big fan of having come to Jesus moments in front of our television, but so we want to make a plan. Okay, and so that's the number thing I would do. I get out a piece of paper, whether it's with your spouse, by yourself, with your family, and I'd say, let's talk about our plan. What are we gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Okay, and so that we're kind of ordered in our life. It's very important. Kind of big things you want to make sure are in place are times for prayer, times for silence, okay, times for opening our eyes to what's around us. That's a part of silence, but I mean, things like taking a walk, going to a place of solitude or quiet, if you possibly can, is good, if you can do that. But then you're saying, well, but I want some support in my prayer life. I don't want to be just, maybe you're living alone. You need that support. And so number one, first of all, I want to say that it's always the intention of the Institute to not replace your parish, but to kind of invigorate your engagement in your parish. So sometimes we have to go and retreat to a place in order to come back to it, right? So the Institute kind of offers that regular opportunity for retreat during the week, and we're doing a lot more right now, but we want to be able to engage also in our local community. So I encourage you, number one, we record that tips and tricks thing. This isn't really to your point, Melanie, but if your parish isn't doing anything, you might call your pastor and be like, hey, I can help you, and then we'll help you. I just spent, or actually Andy, Kelsey, myself, we were all in a meeting with a priest in Los Angeles, and he was asking questions. We were helping him out, sending him links, how he can get a camera and how he can do that kind of thing, okay? So we're here, we want to help you. Then I would encourage you to stay close to your local community in this way. If your parish isn't doing anything, maybe your bishop is, okay? I love EWTN. I love Bishop Barron. Okay, I love the Institute. Can I put the Institute in there? I hope so. But I don't want to just stay at that level. I want, if I possibly can, God's put real people in my life. And the Institute in some ways is like that. But also, you probably miss your priest. This crazy priest up here online at the Institute doesn't quite do it. So you're gonna see if possibly even a phone call to your pastor, if nothing's going on, keep regular contact with him. But I would just say try to be local about your participation online if you can. You might want to pick up some other stuff along the way if it's planned, right? Take a look at what the Institute is offering, or Bishop Barron, or whatever it is, or EWTN. Make a plan for that. But also see what's going on locally. You want to be able to, maybe your bishop is doing the mass for Holy Thursday. Maybe he's in a home where there are other priests and things, and he's going to wash their feet or something like that. I don't know. So I would encourage you in that way. I'd also encourage you, and I'm going to come more to it's a big question you're asking, but I did write some things down actually on this related to this point. If you're a catechist in your parish, you should be calling up your students and your parents and just talking, how you doing? I'm not saying you have to get on there and teach a class, but how are you doing? We're praying for you. Are you receiving, father's emails or that kind of thing? Are you keeping up on your reading of the gospel? You might send out as a catechist the gospel for this coming Sunday, things like that, to give some encouragement. Some of your parishes have a phone tree. Andy and I were just talking earlier about that, and he mentioned that. That's beautiful. A phone tree to make sure we stay engaged. Okay. Okay. That's kind of one part of it that I would encourage you. But as far as attending, how am I going to attend kind of mass if that's what's going on? I'm going to, for 1 hour on Sundays, I'm going to do this thing. Okay. So I would just say, try to make it as incarnational as possible. There's a big difference in sitting on your lazy boy and watching EWTN and standing up, making the sign of the cross with your priest at your parish and praying together and having, you can have all of your readings and stuff already prepared. The USCCB website has all of that stuff for each day. Okay. And I would just encourage you to see if you can enhance that. Just like the carrying the branches, there's different levels. You can enhance that, especially on Sundays. Do you have holy water in your home? Does anybody have holy water in their home? Well, then before I'm going to begin Mass, I'm going to dip my hands in the holy water and I'm going to make the sign of the cross for our Roman Catholic brothers and sisters. Okay? It's a simple way, isn't it? Just like you will enter into, it's a way to designate this time in this space. Okay? Now I'm going to go a little crazier. Some of you might or might not have incense and a little burner of incense. Okay? Look in Revelations chapter 5, verse 8. Revelations chapter 5, verse 8. It says the rising of the incense is the prayers of the saints being lifted up to God. Well, we are very much physical beings. We need to smell. We need to see. And that smoke rising. I was just saying to my wife, I was saying, it's so unfortunate. So many of our parishes, even if they are live streaming, are kind of low mass. They're not singing. And they could, we could do this, right? Melanie, take yourself off of mute.
Yeah.
Okay. come on, let's, oh Christ God, that we were singing at the beginning.
Oh Christ God, when you raise Lazarus from the dead before passion.
I know Melanie has a beautiful voice. My point is this, that we could encourage our pastors to incorporate their chanters and things into their services. So that, and this is on Sunday, this is what I do with my parish, is that I have my chanters at their homes doing parts of the liturgy, and that's important. But I guess my point about that is just engagement is good. And the more you can engage. So if you have a little thing for incense, and to put some incense in there and to offer your prayers in that moment, right? Or maybe it's during the offertory. I'm praying for my mother who's sick. I'm praying for Father Hezekias who's crazy. I'm praying, whatever you're praying for, okay? I'm praying for all these people suffering right now. All right. What about a candle? How many of you have a candle at home? Put a candle in your prayer spot. These are physical ways I designate this time and space. I choose the chair that I'm going to use for, if I'm going to sit down during the reading, I'm going to sit down on a chair like this, not on a lazy boy. I could see this in a church, maybe, right? Maybe. Anyways, and then I'm going to kneel down when it's time. And if you're too old, you can't get up. If you kneel down, though, please, nobody's going to come to get you. But do the best you can. That's the point of that. I'm gonna make the sign of the cross. I'm gonna bow. If there's no singing going on, this was my point about singing. If there's no singing going on, you can sing before you start the broadcast, and you can sing at the end of the Mass. Okay? Fine. Whatever song, of hymn that you know that one, one verse of it, sing it. Okay? Open your heart up to the Lord that way. Yeah, that's my answer, Melanie. Oh, no, one last thing. What about where you put your computer? I think that's really important, right? So I'm not a big fan of bowing down before computers. I want to bow down before the Lord. So I'm going to have my icon of Jesus or my crucifix there. And then I might have my computer maybe just to the side a little bit so that it's not the central focus of my attention, or maybe just down below it a little bit, right? But nevertheless, I have the physical things in my room that the computer may be right in front of me, but it's not the end all, you know what I mean, of what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So, any other questions, thoughts, insights?
Father, I just wanted to say that last Sunday, Tom and I, we did our Mass at the regular Mass time that we do, even though EWTN has the Mass on at 7 a.m. We did our Mass at 8 a.m., which is our regular Mass time, and we dressed like we were going to Mass, and I wore my veil and everything.
Good idea.
That was important, yeah, to dress up.
Dress up nice. And then, guys, look, everybody thinks, I got to get as close as I can, so I have to attend Mass online. No, you don't have to attend Mass online, okay? You can print off the prayers of the service and pray them, okay? Honestly, you want to know the heart of Father Hezekias? I know I'm broadcasting for my parish because everybody's not in a different spiritual place, and some people aren't really ready to make that space in their homes. But I'm talking to you guys are the Pharisees of the Christians, right? You guys are like the really hardcore ones. Here we are on Friday morning, all gathered together to do a Bible study. So you guys are the hardcore ones. So I'm just going to speak to you. To be honest with you, if it was with my family and I wasn't a priest, I would turn off the computer and I would pray through the service. That's what I would do. And I would sing, because our family sings a lot. Okay, I'm not saying not to watch Mass online, but I'm just saying don't feel that that's the only way that you can draw close to the Lord. Okay? Getting dressed, your time, absolutely. Okay, what else? What else?
Father, someone's writing in with an idea to, on Good Friday, venerate the cross with a crucifix in your living room before, kneeling before it.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and kneel down, prostrate before the cross. Absolutely. What about your festivity, guys? Come on, Father Hezekias likes food. Make your plan for food. What are you going to have? I was talking with some of the staff earlier. I said, why? How the Italians will have their fish dinner on Christmas Eve? You've heard about that, right? A lot of actually the Ukrainians do that, and so the big fish dinner Christmas Eve. Why? Well, because that's all they could eat. They were fasting during Advent. Okay? They were allowed to eat fish. So actually fish was considered during the fasting period to be this kind of wonderful thing. So it is customary in the Byzantine tradition to have you're allowed to have fish on Palm Sunday, Annunciation and Palm Sunday. There's only days during Lent you can have fish. So we're gonna get some salmon. I'm gonna go down to the store and I'm gonna risk my life by going to the store for a piece of salmon, and we're gonna have a big salmon dinner. My point is, whatever you're doing, make it special. Make your plan for your dinner like you plan for Thanksgiving. Okay. Get yourself a nice bottle of wine or 3, and then and just enjoy the day together as a family. Or if you're not with your family, if you're single, nevertheless you can make a beautiful meal, and really enjoy that time, and just plan out your day for Palm Sunday. Okay. Yeah. Guys, I think that's probably good. We've gone along. We got that was a long study together. I apologize, but I hope that you are able to glean some good things from that. Hope to see you on tomorrow evening for Monsignor Pope, and then again on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for his kind of Bible study retreat with us during Holy Week. Okay. All right. God bless all of you, and thank you for your prayers.